Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm showing you this. This is an absolutely stunning copper reflective Jesmonite fireball. Throw all the words at it, and we are using balloons. Let's go. Now, my initial plan was actually to make two in the video, but honestly, they are a kind of labour of love, a little bit time intensive, so I ended up just making one. Now, I actually tried to do this last year. It didn't work. I blew the balloons up way too much, and the Jesmonite ended up cracking and just slipping off. So I thought I'd give it another go. Very rare, mostly I quit. I thought I'd give it another go and just blow my balloons up real small. The first thing I'm doing here, I've mixed up a batch of Jesmonite with black pigment added. Now I'm resting my balloon on my pot mould, but also over a bigger mould because I know there's going to be runoff, there's going to be lots of drips and mess, but remember we do get to keep all of that and we can use it as terrazzo chips, so technically there's not much waste. I'm pouring this Jesmonite over the top, but I'm trying to make sure that it kind of evenly flows over the sides. I don't want it to be lopsided and one-sided. I want to completely cover the balloon in that first layer of Jesmonite. Now, it was at this point last year where I noticed it started to crack, come away and create canyons. And luckily, it didn't happen this time around. I'm so glad I gave it another go. But you can see here, those cracks, those crevices, that is very similar to what I got last year. But on the bigger balloons, it literally did just fall off. But I was so happy it stayed on. This is the second coat. So this is around about 30 minutes later. I'm pouring over my second coat of Jesmonite. I am using the correct ratio, 1 to 2.5. And I'm using my 2% allowance in black pigment because I want jet black. So this is just 2 layers. And this is half an hour later. And it is solid. Again, I'm not going to put it to the test. I'm not going to try and break the ball to find out how solid it is. But I have to go slowly at this point. So I've removed the silicone mould, which was a pot, which it was resting in, just to get to the balloon. So I take a pair of scissors to the top of the balloon and I can just easily pull it out once deflated. And I've already got a really cool shape. What I need to do now, because I've kind of got the shape in my head that I want this to end up being, I need to really gently, easy does it. This is where my heart palpitations were starting. But look at this! Oh my gosh! As if I did not just create a Jesmonite cauldron. Oh, okay, listen. Halloween 2022, I am coming back to that. Do not let me forget, I need to make some Jesmonite cauldrons. I thought it was the coolest little cutest thing ever. So here I am now. I'm putting pressure on it with my left hand and my right hand to chip it down to the shape I want. Now, I've got it to the shape I want. Again, whatever shape you choose is up to you. I need a base. I'm using this silicone coaster mould, which is one of my newest moulds you would have seen with the sheep and the lemon Jesmonite. This is the same coaster mould. I thought if I pour another layer, so this is a third layer of Jesmonite, pour it over, making sure that none of it goes inside. I want the inside to be like the smoothest sphere. I want that fireball effect when we light a candle inside. So I want the inside to be smooth. I'm trying my hardest not to let any drip inside. I'm just pouring it around the outside. My thoughts here were that it would drip down and into the coaster. So it would naturally fill the coaster below it and give it a natural base to stand on. In an ideal world. In reality, I needed 4 sets of hands. Honestly, I needed so many pairs of hands here to try and hold it in place. And yeah, it was, as soon as I let go with my right hand, it was falling backwards. But of course, I didn't want it completely backwards. I wanted it at an angle. So really the best thing for me to do was to pour the majority of my Jesmonite into that coaster, get it in the position that I really want the final piece to be, and then fill it with stones. And this did the job. I weighted it down, and it was now a case of fingers crossed it wouldn't move out of that shape. I don't want a roof over the candle, and that was key here. And we are done. 30 minutes later. Oh my goodness me. I was so happy. It was rock hard. The only thing for me to do here was just be gentle. Really, really gentle. I want to get those stones out. But equally, I want to remove all of the Jesmonite from around the base. Obviously, I've got it in the coaster, so I know that the base of this globe is going to be nice and neat because I've got it in a preset coaster. So that's one benefit. And the one thing I have to do here is just be careful. My left hand is gripping the globe while my right hand is chipping away. And look at this. I loved it at this point. It was reminding me of everything. Game of Thrones eggs and everything like that. I decided drusies. It absolutely has to have some drusies, but we're not using the drusies in the traditional way. We're actually placing the drusies down on top of the Jesmonite and not putting the drusies in a mold as we would in the traditional sense. So here we are. This is the fourth. This is the fourth. Where is my head? This is the fourth layer of Jesmonite. Again, I'm going out of my way. I'm being so careful not to let any of that pour down inside because I'm still looking for that super smooth bowl finish. So I'm just pouring it around the outside, and then I'm making sure that the rest of that Jesmonite coats the whole of the outside. I'm not worried about the texture of the outside of this. The more rustic the outside looks, the better for me, because I think if it's got a textured surface, it will go well with the drusies. So here we are placing the drusies on. I've never done this before. I was not expecting it to just stay there. It just stayed there. So if anyone is looking for this kind of technique, it worked a dream. Of course, these drusies are super thin, delicate, intricate drusies. Might not work with your thicker, heavier ones, but wow, it worked with these. And I wanted those druzy details right around the edge of the bowl, so I pushed them up in the hope that they'd stay, and they did. At this point, I am using my leftover Jesmonite to create a base. I'm just pouring what I've got left into the bottom of that bowl because I want a flat surface for my tea light candle. But at this point, I kind of knew I wouldn't be using it like that. I wouldn't be placing my tea light directly on that platform because I loved the look of the stones, and I figured that is how I'm going to display it. The candles are actually going to sit on the stones. So here we are peeling those drusies back, and oh my goodness, I used the same drusies in the previous video, so they've still got some mica powder on, and yeah, the Jesmonite cleaned them nicely. And I already knew I'm gonna actually spray paint this piece, so I wasn't worried about that coming off. If you are still here at this point, I'd just like to say please hit that subscribe button because we have fun here and I would really appreciate your support. I am now going to use my frog tape masking tape to mask up all of the areas that I do not want my spray paint. I want this to be jet black. I'm using Rust-Oleum Metallic Brilliant Finish in bright copper. Believe it or not, this is the same can I used almost 4 years ago on my channel. The stuff lasts amazingly. And it is a beautiful sunny day, so I could get out in the garden and spray paint. Now, I have never spray painted Jesmonite before. I didn't know if it would work. I didn't know if the Jesmonite would hold it. But what a dream. Honestly, it was at this point I noticed that rogue little stone that got stuck inside. Couldn't do anything about it, but I wasn't really bothered. I didn't want to risk damaging the surface of that inner sphere. I wanted it as smooth as possible. Loving it. Short, sharp bursts of the spray paint, and I got the most beautiful finish. I'm obsessed. I am so obsessed. Imagine this in like a giant ball. Like, imagine being able to do that. I don't know, like a gym ball or something. Oh, stop. It'd be incredible. But here it is. I am now going to let this dry, and then I'm going to peel off all of that masking tape, and we have ourselves a finished product. I'm in love with this. That glow is a fireball. It reminds me of Game of Thrones, dragon egg style candles. Oh my gosh. Literally, I'm just obsessed with it. I wish I made two, but it was quite a time consuming project and so messy. So I'm glad, you know, I have one and it's okay. I am obsessed with this glow. Look at that glow. I'm just showing you actually an aerial view here to show you that that candle has a free airspace. It's not going to hit the Jesmonite AC100. Now, Jesmonite AC100 itself is not fireproof. It's heatproof to a high degree, but it's not utterly non-combustible. It is actually combustible. So you just have to be a little bit careful the way you angle your bowl here. I just had to make sure that there's nothing directly above that flame, and I feel like with the stones there, it's got a really nice safe distance between it and the bowl. I just cannot. I'm obsessed. It honestly reminds me of, I don't know. I don't know. It's a fireball. That's exactly why I called it the fireball, because of that glow. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much if you have stayed all this way. I really appreciate you massively. Let me know if you've done anything like this, if you've made any Jesmonite sculptures, and how they've worked out. Again, remembering what I said at the beginning, I tried this last year with huge balloons and it didn't work so well. It literally just fell off, creating massive craters. So if you would like to try this, I would recommend a much smaller balloon to start with. And yeah, let me know how you get on if you try bigger. But I love it. I absolutely love it. This is going to live in our living room. Imagine with all the lights out and a candle burning, that glow, I am telling you, it is going to light up the room. I'm utterly obsessed. Thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.